Hey you guys, all right, we've got a super cute craft today and I'm really excited to share it with you guys. Sorry, I just realized I had my hot glue gun not sitting quite right. This one just doesn't sit right. There we go. All right. Okay, so this is the craft we're doing today, this super cute box. How adorable is that? So fall, so pretty, great for gifts, totally still functional. All right, so let's go ahead and get going, okay? All right, so I'm just going to set this one aside, and we're going to start off with just a basic box from the dollar store. Just going to quickly take off the sticker in the bottom. All right, there we go. All right, so that's what we got started with, and we're going to use some Mod Podge, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and pour some in there. Got my just paint wells, and I'm going to add quite a bit. Okay, so I got that well almost full. I'm going to keep this handy just in case we need more, okay? Then the other thing we're going to need is napkins. All right, these were super cute napkins I found at the dollar store. And I'm just going to go ahead and take out, we will need 2 for this craft. All right, so we got 2, and what I'm going to do is, so the highest point of these bottom things, the bottom decoration, right, the highest point is right on the edge here. So what we're going to do is I have both the napkins here. I have them stacked on top of each other. Okay, just making sure I have them all straight so I get a good straight line. All right, I'm going to grab my scissors and I'm going to cut right across them both. And so this will ensure that they'll end up being about the same. All right, I might have cut that just a little too close. Oh. As you guys know, I'm not usually a perfectionist with these kind of things, so you guys might want to do it a different way to be able to, well, I mean, just grab a ruler so then you're cutting straighter, okay? All right, so there we go. We got those. I'm going to set those aside, and then I'm going to grab, see which one I want to do for my pumpkin. So this one I got a little, I got that one a little close to the thankful, so I'm going to do this one. I'm just going to, so it's just white on that side. I'm just going to cut that out, okay? So you get about 1/2 centimeter close to the pumpkins there, okay? And that will give you a really nice look. Just kind of do a rough cut, okay? And then I'll do a comparing, making sure that it all fits in. All right, so basic cut. What I'm going to do, I'm going to grab my square. I'm going to go ahead and put this back on just because it's easier to work with. All right, I'm going to go like this and see how it fits. I can trim up the sides a little bit. As you can see, I just kind of did a rough one just to see where it's all sitting and try and get those lines all straight. Like I said, you could use a ruler to get it squared away. All right, and I think we needed it a little bit shorter on the top. Okay, and this one just needs to be a little bit straighter. All right, so like I said, you can do it a little bit rough because we're going to do that string around it, so it should be fine. I'm just going to trim up the top just a little bit more. All right, so that's what we're looking at. All right, so first we're going to need a paintbrush, and we're going to do a nice thick level here, not too thick, but you want to at least it to look a little bit chalky. You need to be able to still see it, and you want to kind of do this quickly. With the last one, I let it dry a little too much, and so the middle is a little bit bubbly. So you want to make sure you're doing this a little bit quickly. Make sure to get all around it where it's going to be sitting. All right, looks about right. All right, and then we're just going to place that. If you're having trouble seeing, make sure to swipe the comments to the right. All right, so that's about it. Not totally centered. There we go. Got a little bit of a crease in there. All right, so just kind of patting that down, making sure that it's getting down, and then we're just going to start from the middle and move out. Right, nice and quick, and it dries fairly quickly too, so that's nice too. All right. And just make sure to get those edges, make sure the edges are down really good so then it's not popping up on you. And this turns out super, super cute. I'm so excited for this one. All right, and we're just about done. All right, super simple. Just make sure you got all those edges. I'm just gonna double check because sometimes I get too fast when I'm doing these lives with you guys that I don't remember things about edges. All right, there you go. So that is gonna dry now. So we're just gonna set this aside for a moment. Just gonna take the lid off and set it aside, okay? All right, and then we'll go back to those strips that we cut off the bottom of the bottom of the napkin, right? And so it is 2 layers. Just take off that second layer. It's just blank. All right, so we're going to use this. Each one of these we're going to use for 2 sides. Okay, so that's why we needed 2 napkins. So we'll have extras of the pumpkins, but it'll be the right amount for the trim. All right, so that's what we're doing. We're just going to line it up. All right. Same thing, we're going to put it underneath, make sure it's thick enough, make sure you're quick enough. It's still super, super easy. This is so fast. All right. I mean, the only tricky part is if you decide that you want to make sure everything's completely even, but the rope really covers any non-perfections. So that's one of the reasons I really liked adding that rope. Plus it makes it just that little bit touch more rustic and fall feeling. Kind of like hay, you know. All right, so just make sure you get that edge down right on the corner. Make sure you get that down. All right, and then I'm just going to turn it on its side and do the next one. And same thing, we're just going to add a decently thick layer. Need to be able to see a bit of white on that, a little bit of a chalky look to it. All right, just a little bit more. All right. And we're just going to lay that down. All right, right to the corner, pat it down a bit. And then I'm going to quickly snip it here. And so I'm just going to snip off the edge there. Just line it up. Okay, and then we'll continue on with our Mod Podge. Get it all on there. Make sure you get it nice and thick. If your paintbrush is a little too dry or it starts to dry, then it'll end up ripping your napkin, so we don't want that, so make sure you have lots on there, okay? All right, there we go. We got that side down. All right, and this is where it gets a little bit more fiddly, but not too bad. And you could totally wait. And so the only reason it's fiddly is because I'm not waiting, okay? So if you want to just go ahead and do it like this, otherwise to not make it not fiddly, you could just leave that to dry and then go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to need a little bit more of the Mod Podge, just because I'm making sure I get it on nice and thick so it sticks. All right, so I'm just going to hold it up a bit. Same thing, just going to go ahead. Get that on there. All right, and it does make it a little bit harder to line up and everything when you don't let it dry. So, I mean, if you have time to let it dry, that is definitely the easier way of doing it. All right, so then you can just set it down and line it up easier, right? All right, so just patting that down, getting the Mod Podge on. All right, and just after this, we only have one more step, so super. All right, like that. All right, and just flip it over. As you see, I flipped it over on my hand so it's not going to stick to the other. And once more, getting a nice thick layer. Make sure I don't pull up the other side. There we go. All right, and here we go. Just lining it up with the bottom. All right, and like I said, we're going to cut that off again. Once more, a lot easier when it's dry, so you can just set it down. But we got it, so we're okay. All right, make sure that you get a thick layer. Make sure you get that bottom patted down with the Mod Podge. And there we go. All right, so now we're going to give that one time to dry. After I double check my edges again. All right, there we go. All right, so I'm going to let that dry upside down. So we got our whole upside down so then it doesn't end up sticking to everything. All right, this one isn't totally dry, but I think we can still get away with putting the rope on because we can just work around it. All right, push our extras out of the way. And we just got our rope, and this is just twine from the dollar store. They come in spools a bit thicker than this because I've used some of this, and there's like 3 of them for $1. So super, super inexpensive, and we can use them for so many different crafts. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to outline this with the string. All right, so just doing a half line I found, just because the you don't want the glue to start drying because then it won't stick as well. All right, let it hang down, do another half. And it's just about lining it up. You want to try and do not so thick because we're just using 1 line of the string here. So you don't want to do your glue super thick. So if you're able to do it a little bit quickly so then it doesn't pile up, and I'm just wiping the globs before so then it's not a huge glob on there. All right, oh, I did the whole line that time. Should be okay because moving pretty quick, but I did just get my finger. All right, so we're almost done, you guys. 1 more line. All right, right on there. All right. Super, super quick. Look how quick that is. I mean, this is great if you wanted to do like a little gift boxes for an activity or party or something like that. You can still see the Mod Podge, that big white glob there. Wondering if there we go. Blend that in a little bit better. You don't want it to turn cloudy right in the middle of our pumpkin. All right, there you go. All right, so we got the string around on that one. All right, I'm just gonna set that one aside and pull up the other. All right, I'm just taking off a little bit of the excess. Make sure you're gentle if you decide to do that because you can end up ripping the napkin. Definitely less ideal. All right, so there we go. We're gonna add the rope. For this one, I added 3 layers. I'm just gonna show you guys how to do 1 layer quickly here. And I mean, who knows, you guys might actually like 1 layer better, but it'll be just the same thing over and over. All right, so here we go again. Let's go ahead and start with the half line just to get it glued down and started. All right. Just lining it up, super, super easy. All right, line it all up. And like I said, because I'm not waiting for it to dry, just make sure you're being careful anytime you're touching the napkin because it can rip easily because it's still wet, right? But if you sit back and let it dry, you know, take a couple hours to do it instead of a few minutes like we're doing it right now. You know, especially if you're doing multiples of them, you know, easy peasy when you just let it dry for a few minutes. Oh, that glue dried a little too quick for me. All right, there we go. All right, and 1 more line, and that will be it. We'll do a half line since it decided to dry on me last time. There we go. And again, just a quick snip on the corner. All right, y'all, and that's it. All right, and so you could do all this. I mean, I would definitely try and let the bottom dry, you know, that edging dry a bit before claiming it done and setting it somewhere. But there you go. That's it. It's all done. How cute is that? Perfect for gifts, perfect for decoration. You know, there's so many uses for a box nowadays. All right, let me see if I can get it open again. All right, there you guys go. It's still completely functional. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this live today. If you guys are interested in more craft videos, I have them on Facebook, or around here on Facebook. I also have them on YouTube. I feel so tongue-tied today. All right, you guys, I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments, and you're always welcome to share. All right, talk to y'all soon. Bye-bye.